All right, what's good, everybody? It's your man, Ken Jackson, back in action. Got my new desk set up, and I'm really loving it. And you know, it gives me more space to work with. It's more comfortable. Got a new chair and all that, so gotta be comfortable when you're doing this work. And it's taken me a while to get all the components in place, but finally there, and very happy with the final setup. Still have to hook up my audio, my Rodecaster Pro. Um, it's in the box in the closet right now. I haven't been using it lately, even though I don't really have to. My microphone is plugged directly into the computer right now and it works just fine. But I need the Rodecaster because I like to bring in other things like phone calls and guests and shit like that. So, in the meantime, gonna go through our little Sunday roundup here. A lot's been happening this past week, a lot to unpack. Trump is failing badly because of the Epstein fiasco. Just release the files. Just release it. What do you got to hide? What are you afraid of? You know what I mean? I mean, it just it it really it really shocks me that they've allowed Trump to get away with what he's getting away with. It's crazy. Um, will this be his downfall? I don't know. Hopefully so. Hopefully this will put the final nail in the coffin to the Trump administration. He needs to go. Um, it's a sad situation, that we're dealing with because um, he shouldn't have got elected in the first place. There is no way he should have been elected, and unfortunately, we got what we got. Um, and wow, I mean, what can I say? What else is there to say? Oh, excuse me, I'm so tired. I babysit babysat last night. My grandkids didn't get done with that till 3 in the morning, and and then all morning today, since I got up, taking care of the dog. They're very needy, and taking care of me. It's hot as hell in South Florida. I walked outside uh, a couple hours ago, and it was blazing already in the 90s at like 8 in the morning. It just doesn't make sense to me that it's so hot, and it's I know it's abnormal. It is definitely unusual. Um, Climate change is real, y'all. All the flooding going on, the storms all across the country. Uh, we got a lot to deal with, and I honestly believe all of this is human caused. Got military conflicts going on, all around the world, particularly in the Middle East. Gaza is still under siege. The Israelis are literally trying to exterminate the Palestinians. And I'm not talking about the Israeli people. Don't get it twisted. I'm not talking about Jews. I'm talking about the Israeli Zionist government, who are, in my opinion, just as bad as Hamas. Hamas and the Israeli government right now are in the top three terrorist groups. The number one terrorist group, in my opinion, is Russia right now. Vladimir Putin is he's trying to absorb Ukraine as if Ukraine doesn't exist. And what's crazy is that the country of Ukraine is older than Russia. Ukraine was here first. And Vladimir Putin is trying to make Ukraine a Russian republic or a state or whatever they call them, and trying to act as though Ukraine is such a threat to Russian sovereignty and Russian culture. They're no threat. Ukrainians weren't bothering anybody, but they're putting up the good fight. They are kicking Russia's ass. The Russians military at one time was one of the most feared militaries on the planet. And for many, many decades, it was thought that they were, unstoppable across Europe, if they had ever decided to run across Europe. But it's crazy how today in this modern age of technology that the Ukrainians are able to hold the ground and take it right back to the Russians, just as hard as the Russians are giving it to them. There's no way, based on what we thought about the Russian military over the decades, that Ukraine should have survived this long. And granted, they've gotten a lot of help, from other European countries and the United States in particular, which Donald Trump, is screwing that up as well, because of his personal vendettas against President Zelensky and his bromance with Vladimir Putin. Donald Trump is really making this thing way more difficult than it needs to be. With all the bullshit rhetoric he puts out about the war never would have happened if he had been president at the time. Putin ain't studying your ass, dude. Putin does not respect you. You're a flunky in his eyes. And Mr. Trump, you just need to stop the bullshit. For real, just stop the bullshit. Knock it off, because you're no strong man. You're not a powerful leader. Only thing that makes you powerful is the fact that you're the current president of the United States, which is arguably the most powerful and lethal military on the planet right now. But you got to understand, the world ain't scared of the U.S. Nobody's afraid of the U.S. In fact, I think the only reason that countries like Russia and China haven't attacked us already is because of the nuclear arsenal. We've always had this policy called MAD, mutually assured destruction, which basically means that y'all launch on us, we're launching everything on y'all, and ain't nobody surviving, basically. And it's funny how the United States moves around the world telling people they can't have nuclear weapons or nuclear materials, when we're the only country that's ever used nuclear weapons in warfare. Think about that. Think about that. The United States is the only country that has used atomic weapons in warfare. But yet the United States feels like they can tell everybody else they can't have them. And the statement that comes from a lot of these other countries is that we need them to protect ourselves against you, the United States. So how does that work? White supremacy at its best. And it's crazy because white supremacy is a myth as well, because white people truly don't have supremacy over anything. You got a lot of white people that think they're supreme, but white supremacy is a myth. And it was created to make you, the general population of white folks, think that you were in a status above the rest uh, when you're just being used. You are idiots. You're still broke, out here struggling on welfare just like everybody else, trying to make ends meet while the powerful elite use you in order for them to hold their positions. And what's crazy, it's something I've always said, it was never a black or white thing or a brown thing or whatever. It was always the elites versus everybody else. Because the minute we're all on equal playing field, there's no such thing as elites. Billionaires couldn't be billionaires without us poor folk. You follow what I'm saying? They would not be billionaires if we didn't exist to work in their factories, to buy their products, to utilize, the things that they've stolen and really didn't create. Like Elon Musk. Elon Musk hasn't invented a damn thing. He basically took over Twitter and turned it into X. He took over Tesla. He didn't start Tesla. See, that's the myth. He's not the founder of Tesla Car Company. There were two other guys who actually founded Tesla, and Elon Musk took the money that he made from the sale of PayPal and bought Tesla out. He bought those guys out, and I'm sure he ripped them off in the purchase. But he did not start Tesla. He was not a founding member of Tesla. So y'all need to understand that. Donald Trump wasn't a billionaire until recently. All these years he was touting he was a billionaire land developer. He was no billionaire. It was all a scam. He's been a grifter since day one. But you people outside the New Jersey metropolitan area who had no experience with the early Trump years before he was a Republican, because he used to be a Democrat. He used to be a Democrat. He used to be extremely liberal until he found a way that he could exploit conservatives and Republicans to make more money. And look what's happened. He's turned this country upside down. He's basically stealing from us on a daily basis. A con artist, 34-time convicted felon. How did he even get in the White House? Because a lot of you out there didn't care. And November was the opportunity we had to get rid of this guy for good, and y'all blew it. Y'all blew it. I'd be really surprised if we have elections in 2028. I'd be surprised if we have midterm elections. And we may have the midterms, but they're going to be heavily, heavily rigged. The Republicans are working hard right now to gerrymander all the districts, because they got to hold on to Congress, because if they lose Congress to the Democrats, it's a wrap. Because the Democrats are going to shut them down if they get the majority back and start reversing some of this bullshit that the Republicans have put in place. And that's what we need. Listen, man, 2026, if we have elections, y'all need to come out in mass, in overwhelming numbers, and get these clowns out of office. Because once Congress has been reestablished as an actual Congress, then they can work on getting these corrupt-ass Supreme Court justices out of the way. Because the Supreme Court system needs to be overhauled from the bottom up. I think Supreme Court justices need to have term limits. Shouldn't be a lifetime appointment. They're not elected. They're appointed by whatever corrupt president we happen to have in office at the time. And it seems like it's almost impossible to get them out of there once they're in, unless they die. So That's what we're dealing with as far as that goes. But right now, we have probably the greatest criminal in the history of these United States sitting in the White House and basically tearing down our republic, destroying our republic from the inside out. He is right. He did drain the swamp. He drained it, he dredged it and made it deeper, and then threw in a whole new fresh batch of critters. That's what he did. So and I was speaking earlier to somebody about uh, uh, 2020 when Trump lost the election, and Trump's still talking about it was rigged, it was rigged, it was rigged. It was rigged. You know why? He was the one doing the rigging. He rigged it and he still lost. I want you to think about that. Trump rigged that election and he still lost. That's why he's so mad about it, because he thought there was no way. He thought the fix was in and it was going to be easy peasy. But he rigged it, still lost, and that's why he got in this time. He got his rigging down pat. And that's why he's there now. And he didn't make the same mistakes this time that he made the first time. So understand that. Think about it. Be honest. Take a look. And now we got what we got because the criminal got better at committing the crime. And I can never support this guy. I'm a veteran, and I'm not claiming to be some super patriot, or anything like that. But I can never support a dude who is a draft dodger. In my opinion, you shouldn't be able to be president if you dodge the draft. How are you going to be commander in chief of the military if you dodged military service? I'm not saying you had to serve to be president, but at the time when he was called to service, he scammed his way out of it, like the coward he is. You know what I'm saying? He scammed his way out. And now he's in charge of the military, and he put this other idiot in charge of the Department of Defense who has zero experience, has absolutely no clue as to what he's doing, and he is tearing down he is tearing down the basic tenets of our entire military force. Hopefully we still have a few generals and colonels, and senior enlisted people who are going to hold the line if it becomes necessary. Because I think it's going to require a military option to get Trump out of there in 2028. I really do. And for those of you that think it can't happen here, are you serious? You see what's happening already, so you think that we can't, have a military intervention? Hell, Trump tried to, well, he didn't try. He actually committed a coup on January 6th. It was unsuccessful, but that was a coup. That was an insurrection in every sense of the word. He should have been jailed for that. But somehow or another, he found a way to skate out. This man has not been held accountable for any of his crimes ever. But the clock is running out. We need the 86-47 in 2028. Keep those numbers in mind. 86-47 in 2028. I think I might make a t-shirt out of that. Don't y'all steal my idea. All right, so we got a lot to do. I'm just one person, and even though I'm not as physically active as I should be, but I got my own issues that I'm dealing with, in terms of my physical health and such. But I'm never gonna close my mouth. And for those of you that know me, I will talk your ears off, and I'm gonna continue speaking out. I'm gonna continue spreading the word that we all have to participate. The system ain't perfect. It's not. It's not. America's never been great. It's always been a work in progress, but we have made progress. We have made progress. I'm a product of the civil rights era. I'm a civil rights baby. You know what I'm saying? And when I was younger, I remember a lot of the crazy shit that was going on back then. When us brown folks literally couldn't do certain things. You know, I mean, by law we couldn't do certain things. So we've made a lot of progress. And what I went through wasn't even, really horrible. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a lot of opportunities in my life. I had a great life. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't, all hunky dory and roses every day. There was a lot of fucked up shit we had to get through. And I'm just happy to be here right now, to tell you the truth. But I'm concerned for what my kids and my grandkids are going to have to face long after I'm gone. It's going to take a few decades to fix this shit. It really is. Trump set us back 100 years. That's real. That's real. But everybody out there needs to participate. The system was set up for us all to participate. One group counts on you not participating. The other group depends on you participating. Which group are you a part of? All right. Well, that's all I got for right now. Catch me tonight, 9 p.m. for the Ken Jackson Experience, my regular show, right here on YouTube at Crazy Baby TV World. Also, visit my website. You can find the links at the YouTube page. Oh, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Won't cost you anything. I'm not selling anything. I have no merchandise to push, no endorsements to push, just me. So log on, subscribe, help me out with the algorithm, and I'll do the rest. All right. See you next time, or see you later on tonight. I'm out. Peace.